Hi everyone, I am Christopher Katipan and I am a student of BSMT 2. So I'm here to show you my understanding of MARPOL annexes, but this time we will gonna show you my annexes 5 and 6. So let's begin. So in MARPOL Annex 5, garbage from ships can be just as deadly to marine life as oil or chemicals. The greatest danger comes from plastic, which can float for years. Fish and marine mammals can in some cases mistake plastics for food, and they can also become trapped in plastic ropes, nets, bags, and other items. Even such innocuous items as the plastic rings used to hold cans of beer and drinks together. It also seeks to eliminate and reduce the amount of garbage being discharged into the sea from ships. It also received a sufficient number of ratifications to enable entry into force on 31 December 1988. Today, more than 150 countries have signed up to MARPOL Annex 5. Generally prohibits the discharge of all this garbage into the sea, except as provided otherwise in Regulation 4, 5, and 6 of annexes, which are related to food waste, cargo residues, cleaning agents, and additives and animal carcasses. Under MARPOL Annex 5, garbage includes all kinds of food, either domestic and operational waste, all plastic, cargo residues, incinerator ashes, cooking oil, fishing gear, and animal carcasses generated during the normal operation of the ship and liable to the dispose of continuously or periodically. Garbage does not include fresh fish and parts thereof generated as a result of fishing activities undertaken during the voyage or as a result of aquaculture activities. These are the list of special areas under MARPOL Annex 5. First is the Mediterranean Sea area, the Baltic Sea, the Black Sea, the Red Sea, the Gulf area, the North Sea, the Antarctic area, and last but not the least, the wider Caribbean region. Now moving on to the MARPOL Annex 6. So, based on my understanding, MARPOL was developed MARPOL Annex 6 was developed through the International Maritime Organizations or IMO, a United Nations agency that deals with maritime safety and security, as well as the prevention of marine pollution from ships. And also, MARPOL is the main international agreement covering all types of pollution from ships. It was first adopted in 1997, limits the main air pollutants contained in ships' exhaust gas including sulfur oxide and nitrous oxides, and prohibits deliberate emissions of ozone-depleting substances. MARPOL Annex 6 also regulates shipboard incineration and the emissions of volatile organic compounds from tankers. The main changes to MARPOL Annex 6 are a progressive reduction globally in emissions of sulfur oxide, nitrogen oxide, and particulate matter, and the introduction of emission control areas or ACAs. It is to reduce emissions of those air pollutants further in designated sea areas. Annexes of MARPOL establishes limits on nitrogen oxide emission from marine diesel engines with a power output of more than 130 kilowatts. The standard applied to both main propulsion and auxiliary engines and require the engines to be operated in conformance with Annex 6. Emissions limits. So limits the sulfur content of marine fuels. Also, ships operating up to 200 nautical miles off of United States shore must meet the most advanced standard for no emissions and use fuel with lower sulfur content. This geographic area is designated under Annex 6 as the ECA. United States flagged vessels are subject to inspection for compliance with Annex 6 U.S. flagships are subject to examination under port state control. While operating in the U.S. waters, the USCG or EPA may bring an enforcement action for a violation. So, that is all for my understanding about MARPOL Annex 5 and 6. I hope you learned something. Thank you.